Kaka. Lifted into Shevchenko, he's onside this time, he's got Crespo in support. Here's Hernan Crespo, 2-0. Hernan Crespo. Look at that from Kaka. And what a pass too for Crespo. And what a goal that is. What a goal that is. Hernan Crespo again. Sublime pass by Kaka. Towards Gerrard! Hello! Here we go! Steven Gerrard puts a grain of doubt in the back of Milan minds and gives hope to all the many thousands of Liverpool fans.
Happy New Month, sports lovers. This is Sports Echoes on Melody 100.7 FM. On this show, we dive deep into stories behind the scores, the legends, the heartbreaks, the breakthroughs, the unforgettable moments that shape sports as we know it today. And also, there is the quiz segment where I ask questions, and if you get them, you're going to win something. Alright, from Nigerian golden goals to Olympic shocks to African giants that shook the world stage, this show is your backstage pass to the past. I'm going to be bringing you facts, voices, memories, and even a few chills as we relive the moments that made fans scream, nations proud, and history take note. So whether you're in traffic or at home or you're just chilling with your radio, I promise you this, after today, you will never see sports the same way again. Alright, I welcome you in the name of the General Manager of Melody 100.7 FM, Eniola Afolabi, the Sports Marshal. And also the producer of this show, Pretty the Finest, Adegoke. Adenike Adesoye is the studio manager for today. And big shout out to Moses helping out with the production right there. We're currently live on Facebook at Melody 100.7 FM. You can go on there, drop your comments. You can also share this program. I mean, let it reach so that it would get to your friends and family, so they would go on to see some of the things we go on to do right here on Melody 100.7 FM. All right, I'm Akinbobola, Egunfemi.
Sunny day at Hillsborough. The stage is set for a rerun of last year's classic. Liverpool in red, Forest all in.
The teams have just left the field here, taken away by referee Ray Lewis. The trouble away to our left, where there's a packed enclosure of Liverpool supporters. 2.5 minutes after the match started, they really came over the top of the fence. Away to the left at the moment, there must be some 100 or 200 people on the pitch. An ambulance has just come into the stadium and it's making its way through a vast crowd of people away to the left. There would seem to be, from where I'm sitting here, dozens of people now lying on the ground and being attended to by police and St John's ambulance. I saw 2 oxygen cylinders being carried down the touchline just below us minutes ago. Some of the people at the back, understandably through sheer fear, are trying to climb their way up into the upper tier once more. I've now seen 15 stretchers carrying bodies away, alive I must stress, and at the moment they've been ripping up some advertising boards because they've run out of stretchers, and they're being used at the moment to take people away to the left, the corner flag. I see for the last 10 minutes a nurse has what I think been giving a kiss of life to one young fan who looks in deep distress.
Alongside me I've got Dr. Glyn Phillips.
There was one chap I went to, he was clinically dead, he had no heartbeat, he was cyanosed, and we resuscitated him for about 10 minutes, and we were just about to give up when we got his heart beating, but I don't know what the state of his cerebral function is going to be like.
Well, I think the biggest irony is that the sun is shining now and Hillsborough's quiet, and over there to the left, the green Yorkshire Hills.
That clip I played for you was Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, 1989, the Hillsborough disaster, England, 1989. Today's topic on Sport Echoes is From Stadium Cheers to Street Tears, the tragedies that changed sport forever. I mean, this one is kind of emotional for me because, I mean, when I tried to check stories on this, I mean, I saw so many things that almost brought me to tears. Sad moments, sad situation where people lost lives right there. So today's topic is From Stadium Cheers to Street Tears, the tragedies that changed sports forever. When moments meant for joy turned into history's darkest echoes. As we know, sport is a celebration of unity, pride, and passion. The stadium, a temple of joy, but sometimes the joy fades, replaced by screams, chaos, and outbreak. And today on Sport Echoes, I'm going to be revisiting those haunting moments where the games we love turned into tragedy, when stadium cheers became street tears. When stadium cheers became street tears. All right, the clip I played for you, just like I said earlier, is the Hillsborough disaster, England, 1989. Yes, the day football broke out and changed the game forever. It was a bright Saturday afternoon, April 15th, 1989 to be precise. The FA Cup semi-final between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest was set to kick off at the Hillsborough Stadium in Sheffield, England. 54,000 fans filled the stands, singing, waving scarves and waiting for another classic day of football. But within minutes, the joy turned into horror. A crush began to form at the Leppings Lane end, where Liverpool fans were packed in tightly behind the goal. Hundreds were pressed against iron fences, trapped, gasping for air. In those terrifying moments, football celebration became a tragedy. Hillsborough wasn't new to big matches, but on that day, the crowd management system, yes, failed completely. Police opened a main gate C to be precise, to ease congestion outside the stadium, but realizing that the central pens behind the goal was already full, so police at that point in time tried to help the situation. They opened the main gate, the gate C, to ease congestion outside the stadium, but they didn't realize that the central pens behind the goal was already full. So thousands of fans surged inside, unaware they were walking into a death trap. Within minutes, the terraces were overflowing. People crushed against steel barriers, others climbing fences to escape, and some collapsing to ground, unable to breathe. The match had just begun, but as fans spilled onto the field, it became clear this wasn't a pitch invasion, it was a desperate fight for survival. So at that point in time, it was a desperate fight for survival. Many fans were trying to escape after they saw the whole congestion right there at the stadium. And funny thing is, at that point in time, they just started the game. That was even the very shocking thing. It wasn't towards the end. It wasn't as if they had gotten to 80 minutes, 85 minutes, maybe one team was leading right there. They just started. It was only 14 minutes into the game. By the time the chaos stopped, 94 people were dead at the stadium. 2 more died later in the hospital later. Another victim succumbed to injuries, bringing the total to 97 lives lost. More than 700 were injured and thousands traumatized. Yet, in the early hours and days that followed, the real tragedy deepened. Instead of compassion, fans faced blame. The police and some media outlets claimed drunken hooliganism. That was what they made the fans look like. Drunken hooliganism. That's the police and some media outlets at that point in time in 1989. And they called it drunken hooliganism caused the disaster. But witnesses, photographs, and survivors told another story. A story of mismanagement, locked gates, and deadly decisions. For decades, the family of those who died fought for justice, fighting lies, reports, and cover-ups. Their chants became louder than any anthem. Then they called it the Justice for the 96 because of the number of people that died. I said 97, but they called it 96, the Justice for 96. In 2016, after years of investigations and new inquest, a jury ruled that the victims were unlawfully killed and the police negligence and poor planning were to blame. It was a moment of bittersweet victory. Truth had triumphed, but too late for many families who had waited over 25 years. The tragedy forced football to change forever. The Taylor report, a government investigation, recommended the end of standing terraces in top-flight football. Now, stadiums across England were rebuilt as all-seater arenas. Now, they didn't give room for fans to stand in the stadium. Now, most of the stadiums across England had to rebuild their stadium as all-seater arena where fans could sit. With improved surveillance, crowd control, and emergency procedures, Hillsborough became the turning point, the day football learned that safety is sacred. Now, today, outside Anfield Stadium stands the Hillsborough Memorial, etched with the names of all 97 victims, forever remembered, forever mourned. On every anniversary, fans lay flowers, candlelight, and sing the anthem that carries so much more meaning now. Walk on with hope in your hearts. That's what Liverpool fans, anytime they see those names, the 97 victims etched at the Anfield Stadium, outside of the Anfield Stadium to be precise, they sing this particular song. Walk on with hope in your hearts. Hillsborough wasn't just a tragedy, it was a mirror that forced football to confront itself. It taught the world that no match, no rivalry, no goal is worth a single human life. From that day forward, the roar of the crowd would never sound the same. It carried an echo, one that whispered a lesson written in heartbreak: safety first and always. story is the ASIL Stadium disaster, Belgium 1985. It was May 29th, 1985. The grand finale of European football at a point in time, the European Cup final, what we now call the UEFA Champions League, between Liverpool of England and Juventus of Italy. The setting, Eastrik SL Stadium in Brussels. That was where the match was played. The final, the European Cup final, it was between Liverpool of England and Juventus of Italy. And the setting, that was where the stadium was. That was ASIL Stadium in Brussels, Belgium. Just like today, both teams were giants of football, two nations with immense pride, thousands of fans who had traveled across Europe for one thing, glory. So both Juventus and Liverpool fans, they were willing, they wanted to see their game because, then they were both top teams. In England, Liverpool was stopped. In Italy, Juventus was stopped. So both fans wanted to see that game. So thousands of fans who had traveled across Europe for one team, that was glory. Yes, but beneath that excitement, there was tension. A stadium too old for such an occasion. Divided fan sections that weren't clear separated, and a match that would be remembered not for its goals, but for its ghosts. Now, before kickoff, reports said Liverpool and Juventus fans were placed dangerously close to each other, separated only by a thin wire fence and a neutral section filled with Belgian fans. Now, I saw a clip of that particular game, and it was really, really close. It was just a wire, more like a barbed wire, that was separating Juventus fans and Liverpool fans. And both fans, they have history of being a top club at their particular city right there. In England, Liverpool was top. Juventus, they wanted to win that game at all costs. Both teams wanted to win that game. So the fans, they came with fire. Not just support, they came with fire. They wanted to win that game at all costs in time. So tempers flared, stones, bottles, and insults flew back and forth. Then around 7 p.m., everything unraveled. A group of Liverpool supporters charged towards Juventus section. Panicked fans, many of them families, tried to flee. They ran towards the concrete wall at the edge of the terrain, and then the unthinkable happened. The wall collapsed under the pressure of the crowd. In the blink of an eye, the party turned to panic. 39 people died, most of them Italian fans, crushed or trampled in the stampede. Over 600 others were injured. The images were heartbreaking, fans carrying the wounded on advertising boards, people crying, shouting for help. Some players, unaware of full scale of tragedy, stood froze on the pitch, powerless. And yet, despite the horror, the match was played. UEFA and local authorities feared cancelling the match. It might spark more violence, so they had allowed the match to go on in spite of the violence that was happening around the stands. Juventus won 1-0, but no one celebrated. Even the trophy felt heavy, tainted. Although the world was stunned. Football, the beautiful game, had revealed an ugly truth. The passion without discipline and structure could destroy lives. The European authorities responded swiftly. All English clubs were banned from European competitions for 5 years, and Liverpool received an additional 1-year ban. Several fans were arrested and charged with manslaughter. ASIL forced Europe to confront the rise of hooliganism, the unchecked aggression that had begun to overshadow the sport. It became clear that football needed to clean its image, to reclaim its soul. In the years that followed, stadiums across Europe were redesigned. Strong barriers, better seating, safer fan segregation, football authorities began to emphasize respect over rivalry, and most importantly, fans learned that passion must never become poison. At Juventus Stadium in Turin today, a plaque still reads, in memory of the victim of ACL, May 29, 1985, in the memory of sport. For those who were there, the sound of the collapsing wall still echoes, not as roar of a crowd, but as a warning that even the greatest games can become tragedy when humanity loses control. ACL was supposed to crown a champion. Instead, it reminded the world that no victory is worth a single human life. Just to take a sad moment in Africa here, the Ellis Park tragedy, South Africa, 2001. It was April 11th, 2001, Johannesburg, South Africa, a night that promised passion, rivalry, and pure football magic. The legendary Soweto derby, Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates. Before the dominance of Mamelodi Sundowns right now in the South Africa Premier Football League, it used to be Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates. In fact, when I started to follow South African games, 2011, 2012, it used to be Kaizer Chiefs versus Orlando Pirates. So, I mean, the rivalry has started for a very long time. Imagine 2001. At that point in time, it was a match that needed no introduction, where emotions run as deep as the colors the fans wear. But within moments, the heartbeat would stop. What began as excitement would end as heartbreak. Tickets were sold out, but thousands more desperate fans surrounded Ellis Park Stadium, hoping to get in. Reports say that security failed to control the crowd. Fans began forcing their way through gates, climbing fences, pushing past barriers, all trying to catch a glimpse of their heroes. Instead, the stands were already filled beyond capacity, but the gates were still open outside. More people poured in. The pressure mounted until the human wave at the entrance became unstoppable. And yes, the moment was of tragedy. It was 10 minutes into the match. The unthinkable happened. In the north stand near gate 4, fans began to fall. Yes, to be precise, it was the north stand right there in the stadium near gate 4. Fans began to fall, crushed against metal barriers. People screamed for help. Others stumbled, trembled, and unable to move. Security tried to close the gates, but it was too late. Bodies began piling up, and panic rippled through the terraces. The match continued for a few minutes until officials realized something terrible was unfolding. The referee stopped play. Players watched in disbelief as emergency workers ran onto the field. It was chaos, sirens, stretchers, tears. By the end of the night, 43 people were dead. Men, women, and even children, all gone in minutes, in a place meant for joy. South Africa mourned. The images of the news were haunting. Rows of shoes, abandoned flags, and broken silence. The Ellis Park tragedy became one of the darkest nights in African sports history. Investigation revealed that overcrowding, poor crowd control, and ticketing chaos were to be blamed. Too many people, too few gates, and no proper coordination between police and stadium officials. Then many people said it was the fact that there were too many people, too few gates, that there were few gates outside of the stadium, and no proper coordination between the police and stadium officials. The government ordered a full review of stadium safety. Recommendations include electronic ticketing, stricter gate control, and better emergency exits. But for the families of those 43 fans, no reform could replace the life lost. The Ellis Park tragedy became a turning point for African football administration. It exposed the urgent need for professional crowd management and fan education. It reminded the world that in Africa, passion runs deep, but safety must run deeper. Every Soweto derby since that day has been played under heavy supervision, a tribute to those who never came home. For South Africans, that night still echoes. The chant of Chiefs, Pirates now carry a silent prayer, a prayer that the love for football never again becomes the cause of pain. The Ellis Park disaster was not just a South African tragedy, it was a continental wake-up call, a reminder that in the game we love, every life in the stands matters as much as every goal on the pitch.
Yet the security on the night wasn't prepared at all. Fans who contacted Special Assignment said that after 8 o'clock, they saw no guards at several entrances to the stadium. Some gates were open and unattended, so people simply streamed in. Once inside, they were trapped in a stadium ready to burst. The aisles were jam-packed, but the surge continued. 2 early goals made those trying to get in even more frantic.
And now the shot flies in. Chiefs are ahead against the run of play. It's a great goal with his right boot.
I tried everything, until I got there to that control room. And where I told them to stop the game and they wouldn't, They wouldn't.
Some fans were impaled on railings that collapsed. And still, the match continued.
Starting wide on the right tonight,
This video footage shows spectators applauding the game, with people dying in front of them.
Paramedics working hard. Huge dramatic scenes on the side of the field in an evening which was always set up for something dramatic to happen, with tickets being sold at the stadium, fans rushing in here late as they always do.
Until finally, after 33 minutes, the match was stopped.
The referees come across. There's some incidents. They're going to have to stop the game here by the looks of things. Robin Peterson there.
Don't push, really Cooper, don't push, don't panic. Just clear this way here. Sanitaire, please.
By then, 43 people who'd come to
That was a short insert of what happened at the Ellis Park tragedy, South Africa 2001. Seeing the video one more time, it gives me that shock, that fear. Because, people lying dead on the pitch just because they wanted to actually see their team win. Just really, really sad right there. All right, still in Africa, the Accra Sports Stadium disaster, Ghana 2001. In Ghana, football isn't just a game, just like Nigeria, it's a heartbeat and heritage. And no fixture captures that passion like Hearts of Oak versus Ashanti Kotoko. And right at that point in time, it was the country's fiercest rivalry. So on May 9th, 2001, the Accra Sports Stadium overflowed with color, music, and noise. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, but by final whistle, it became the darkest chapter in Ghana's sporting history. The stadium was packed far beyond its official 40,000 seat capacity. Fans crammed the terraces, shoulder to shoulder, flags waving, emotions raw. On the pitch, the rivalry boiled over. Attackers, disputed calls, tension arriving when Hearts of Oak scored 2 late goals to beat Ashanti Kotoko 2-1. Frustration turned into fury. Kotoko supporters began hurling bottles and plastic chairs towards the stadium. In response, police officers made a fateful choice. They fired tear gas into densely packed stands. In seconds, panic erupted. Thousands tried to flee through locked or narrow exits. People stumbled, fell, and were trampled in the chaos that followed. By the time order returned, 126 people were dead, the worst stadium disaster in Africa history. Most victims suffocated, others were crushed against concrete barriers. Rescue efforts were delayed by confusion and poor communication. The following morning, Accra woke up to silence. Radios carried the death toll. Newspapers showed rows of bodies lined beside the stadium. Entire families had been wiped out. Fathers, sons, and daughters who came to cheer never came home. The nation went into mourning. Flags flew at half-mast. Churches and mosques filled with prayers. Football, Ghana's greatest joy, had become its deepest sorrow. A presidential commission of inquiry later revealed a chain of avoidable errors. So they listed it then: overcrowding, poor ticket control, lack of emergency exits, and reckless use of tear gas. So those 4 things, according to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, they reviewed that overcrowding, poor ticket control, lack of emergency exits, and reckless use of tear gas were the cause of what happened right there in Ghana. And then several police officers were charged, though many escaped conviction. Still, the tragedy forced sweeping reforms. Ghana banned tear gas in stadiums. New safety codes required clearly marked exits, a modern turnstile and medical response team at every major event. Every May 9th, the nation pauses to remember. It is now officially May 9th Stadium Disaster Memorial Day. So in Ghana, every May 9th, the stadium and the nation pauses to remember all of the people that died in that incident, in that match game. Hearts of Oak and Ashanti Kotoko. Out of outbreak came purpose. The Ghana Football Association began campaigns on fan discipline and safety awareness. Other West African nations studied the disaster and adopted similar reforms. The message was clear: football must protect its own. At the Accra Sports Stadium today, a small plaque bears the names of the 126 victims. On match days, fans place flowers beneath it, a silent reminder that behind every chant, there are lives worth safeguarding. The Accra tragedy taught Africa that stadium safety is not just about structures and gates, it's about respect, planning, and compassion. Because when one life is lost, the entire continent mourns. Before I head to the quiz segment, there's also the Peru tragedy, Estadio Nacional 1964. A crowd of 53,000 filled the Estadio Nacional for an Olympic qualifying match between Peru and Argentina. With minutes left, a referee disallowed Peru's equalizer. Fury swept the terraces. Fans stormed the pitch. Police fired tear gas and sealed the exits. In the chaos that followed, people were crushed against locked gates. When it ended, over 300 fans laid dead and more than 500 injured. The deadliest stadium disaster in football history, the government later banned tear gas at matches and demanded safety reforms across South America, but the pain lingers. Lima still remembers that a dark afternoon where passion became panic. And also the Munich air disaster in 1958, February 6 to be precise, 1958, the world of football was shattered when the British European Airways Flight 609, the British European Airways Flight 609 crashed while trying to take off from a snowy Munich runaway. On board the legendary Manchester United Busby Babes. Busby Babes was also there. 23 people lost their lives, including 8 players, young men who symbolize English football future. Survivors like Sir Bobby Charlton carried both the trauma and the torch forward. From the ashes, Manchester United rebuilt, culminating in the 1968 European Cup, a triumph. Just 10 years later, Munich became more than tragedy. It became testimony that football's art can heal. And also, most recently, the Chapecoense plane crash 2016. November 28, 2016, the small Brazilian club Chapecoense was living a fairy tale heading to Colombia for the Copa Sudamericana final. Yes, the small Brazilian club Chapecoense was living a fairy tale heading to Colombia for a Copa Sudamerican final, their first ever continental final, but their child flight never made it. It crashed in the mountains near Medellin, killing 71 of the 77 passengers, including players, staffs, and journalists. The football world united in mourning. Atlético Nacional, their opponents requested that that particular team, Chapecoense, be awarded the title, so they didn't play the game eventually. And the team that they were supposed to play, that was Atlético Nacional, they told the organizers to award the title to the Brazilian club, who lost 71 of the 77 passengers in the Medellin mountains right there. The gesture moved millions, proving that in tragedy, humanity stands taller than rivalry. Today, Chapecoense's rebuilt squad still wears a green badge, edged with angel wings, symbolizing those who never returned, yet never left the story behind. Finally, the Zambian national team, a plane crash in 1993. On April 27, 1993, the heartbeat of Zambian football stopped mid-air. The Zambian national team, on their way to a World Cup qualifier in Senegal, never made it past the skies of Libreville, Gabon. Their military aircraft crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, killing all 30 people on board, players, coaches, and crew. An entire generation of stars gone in a single night. Zambia mourned deeply. They were not just athletes, they were national heroes, dreamers, carrying the hopes of a nation. But from that sorrow, Zambia found rebirth. Just 1 year later, a new team rose from the ashes, and in 2012, almost 2 decades later, Zambia lifted the AFCON trophy in Libreville. I remember that particular game. I think it was Ivory Coast in that final. It got to the penalties and eventually Zambia lifted it. It was emotional for the fans, even the players at that point in time, they were crying. The very city where their predecessors perished, it was more than a victory. It was destiny fulfilled for them. A story that reminded the world that even the deepest grief the spirit of football and the spirit of Africa never dies. Alright, it's time for the quiz segment where I ask questions, and if you win any of my questions, you will get something. Alright, the studio lines are 070-2520-107, 070-2520-107. You can as well call 070-5507-107. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for last week.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, happy new month.
Thank you. I won last week and I received my gift.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah, so pick a question today.
Number 10.
Number 10. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, all right. So, in which Premier League season did a team finish with 97 points and still did not win the title?
Take it again, please.
In which Premier League season did a team finish with 97 points and still did not win the title?
1990, 2001, 2002 season.
No, you're wrong. It was Liverpool, 2018-2019. They finished behind Man City's 98 points.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling. You can call back. Hello.
Hello. Yeah,
good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Moses from Akobo.
Moses from Akobo. Happy New Month.
Same to you.
Yeah, pick a number.
Number 5.
Number 5. All right. So, which club has the record for most consecutive La Liga wins in a single season?
Barcelona.
Real Madrid. Real Madrid, 16 consecutive wins in 2016-2017. Thank you so much for calling. Can call back. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Michael from Gates.
Michael from Gates. Happy New Month.
How should you
say? Pick a number from 1 to 20.
Number 20.
Number 20. Okay, that's the last question. All right. So, which club became the first to win the Premier League without any English player appearing in a single match? Okay, so the answer is Arsenal, 2005-2006 season versus Crystal Palace.
And happy new month to you.
Happy new month. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jacob.
Oh, Mr. Jacob. Good afternoon. You didn't call last week.
Thank you, sir. No, I wasn't around.
Oh, okay.
You didn't participate, yeah.
Okay, it's nice to have.
Online, but I couldn't find.
Okay, it's nice to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please pick a number from 1 to
Question
20.
number 1.
Number 1.
Question number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Today is first. Let me see. Today is first.
All right. All right. Which manager led Real Madrid to their famous La Decima? That's the 10th Champions League title. That's their 10th Champions League title.
After their 10th title.
Yeah, their 10th Champions League title. Which manager led Real Madrid to their famous La Decima?
Zidane.
Yeah?
Zidane.
No, that's not the answer.
All right.
Yeah, it's Carlo
I'd like
Ancelotti.
to try again.
Yeah, you can try again. Thank you so.
Ancelotti.
Yeah.
And that's my friend. That's my
Don
friend.
Carlo.
Ancelotti. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll try again.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Michael calling back.
Okay, calling back. All right. So pick a number now.
Number 2.
Number 2. Which goalkeeper has kept the most clean sheets in Premier League history?
Oh.
He plays for a top. Yeah? Okay, you're correct. It's Peter Cech.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll read out my number towards the end of the show, and I'll reach out to you. All right. Thank you so much for calling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, Peter Cech, 202 clean sheets at that particular time. So he's the goalkeeper that has kept the most clean sheets in the Premier League history. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where are you calling from?
Calling from Gwagi.
Yeah?
Calling from Gwagi.
Okay, is this your first time calling?
No.
Okay. All right, so pick a number.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Yes.
Okay. So, which 2 Premier League clubs have never been relegated since the league's creation in 1992? Which 2 Premier League clubs has never been relegated since league creation in 1992? Yeah? Okay, so you're wrong. You got one right. The answer is Arsenal and Liverpool, not Liverpool and Chelsea. So you are wrong. You can do well to call back. Thank you so much for calling. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ibrahim calling back.
Ibrahim calling back. Okay, pick a number.
Number 7.
Number 7. Okay. Who was the only player to win the Pichichi Trophy? That's La Liga top scorer for both Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah, he was the only player to win the Pichichi Trophy.
Lionel Messi.
No, Messi did not play for Real Madrid now. Okay, so you are wrong.
Who is he?
Nobody, actually. I thought you were going to say Luis Figo, but actually no player has ever done that. Thank you so much for calling.
This is Moses calling back.
Okay, Moses. One more time. You want to try? All right.
Yeah.
So pick a number.
Number 3.
Number 3. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay. So which Serie A team went an entire season unbeaten?
Arsenal.
It's Serie A team. Serie A.
Okay, Juventus.
Okay, you're correct. Yeah, I'll read out my number and we'll talk after the show. Thank you so much for calling. You were so lucky right there. I mean, that question for me is so easy. But that's what you do, or that's what you get when you keep trying. Hello? Okay. Calling back. All right. Okay. Yeah. You can pick a number, sir.
Yeah, it's number 8 available.
Number 8, yes, it's still available. Yes.
Okay, number 8. I think question number 8.
Okay, I'm trying to get to the questions right there. Okay. So, in the Premier League's history, which manager has the most Manager of the Month award in the Premier League history?
The Premier League history. Sir, let's start with him.
No. It's Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardiola. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Yeah. Alright, just to round up, each tragedy from Lima to Munich, from Accra to Medellin taught the same lesson. Safety must never be an afterthought. Every life lost became a reminder that behind the goals, songs, and colors, there are human beings, family, dreams, and futures. Special thanks to Adenike Adesoye, who is the studio manager for today, and also Daniel Adeyemi, and yes, my brother Moses helping out with the production. Auntie Fee is also in the building right there. And also a big thanks to the general manager of Melody 100.7 FM, Eniola Afolabi, and also the producer of the show, Pretty the Finest, Adegoke, and also the chairman of Melody 100.7 FM, Prophet Sam Adebayo Ojo, Baba Authority. Thank you so much, sir. I do not take this for granted. All right, for those that won today, my number is 081 11 744 773 081 11 744 773. All right, until later today on Complete Sports, when I come your way again, I'm Akinbobola, Egunfemi. Good afternoon.